the Wednesday wrap-up show with blackcomiclords.
What's good?
Hello.
What up, everybody?
What's up?
This is kind of a pop-up show because we did not advertise or promote that we were coming on. So this show really and truly is for our loyal subscribers and followers. Because if you are subscribed to the channel, you know that we're on because we pop right up on your screen and give you notifications that we're on right now. So as we go on, those people that are subscribed to the channel will see we're on and can join us. So this is truly for truly loyal fans. If you so happen to come across us just because, great. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. Living
Richard's
the dream.
picking out his dinner out teeth.
You know what I'm saying?
You must have had some good brisket or some ribs or something. What's going on? What'd you have for dinner tonight, man? It's always good the second time, ain't it?
Pretty much, you know. Right.
Wife made up something good.
That was cool. I mean, it's leftovers. So leftovers from yesterday. Funny thing is, my wife, she went to the grocery store today. Which is why I'm like, why am I eating leftovers? You went to the grocery store. So I'm like, okay. So, but
because she tired.
Miss Thang made her a pizza though, so you know, I had to eat leftovers, so she ate a pizza.
Oh, sounds like a message.
No message. My wife don't watch this, so you know, I can just talk all kind of trash, but I ain't gonna do that.
I was talking about you had leftovers and she had fresh pizza. That's what I was talking about. But
that's what I'm saying, Angel. I could really just like go in, but I can't. I'm not gonna do that because I don't need the karma or the commentary on the internet because the internet stuff gets back to people. You think?
Yeah, it sure do.
You think what you say on these internets don't go no further than what you just think you just said. No, this stuff is forever.
It sure is.
So I imagine if I'm still around at 90 years old and somebody pulls this up, you know, I'm just gonna blame it on Paul.
Yeah, it's story in my life. All right, so let's say what's up to people in the chat.
Yep.
Marwan Williams, what's up, fam? How you doing? Pericles Dragon Balls in the house.
Wiseacre
Comics, always a pleasure, man. I need to get some more Wise. You guys got to kick. I think I'm already subscribed to the Kickstarter. I'm looking forward to getting some more Wiseacre Comics. If y'all don't know about Wiseacre Comics, you sleeping. Go on Kickstarter, check out Wiseacre Comics. They got a great campaign going on right now. Fred Little, shout out to you, man. You guys make some dope comics. And I see, look, I peep some of the new stuff that you've been teasing is coming down the pipe. I've seen it. You need to come back on the show and talk to us about it, man. I'm excited about it.
So you were just talking about work. He was just talking about working, Angel.
You know what? I was.
Yes.
I need to shut up. I need to shut up before people start asking me to do interviews.
Just making more work for himself.
Marwan says you need to stop complaining. You eating, fam? Rich?
You know what? No, I'm not eating. I'm good. I'm good. Life is good. Life is good. I just was getting the stuff out of my teeth. You know, so I need to go to. They sent my dentist sent me a text. They were like, "Hey, you ain't been here in a minute, and we need you to come on in because I had a deep cleaning on one side, and they got to do the other, so I had to like reschedule. So you know, my dentist is kind of mad at me because I just do not like. Let me tell you something. When you go to the dentist, I don't know anybody that just really is excited about going to the dentist. I'm very paranoid, and so when I hear a machine, it just, you know, that's torture for me. Now I'll sit there and watch the Stephen A. Smith or some Anthony on Animal Planet to try to calm my nerves while I'm dealing with that. But my anxiety is very, very high. Yeah. And so I just do not like that. But trust and believe, you get enough pain in your mouth, you will lay there. So we don't like the toothaches or anything like it. But anyway,
don't mind.
Wiseacre says we just dropped Neon Ghost Digital's books in the mail soon. Okay, more heat incoming, man. Wiseacre got some dope comics, man. It's so under the radar. Y'all need to big up Wiseacre Comics. Long live BCL. Anthony Davis in the house. Thank you, brother. He's always supporting us. Marwan Williams just had some fillings put in Monday. He feels your pain literally.
Yeah.
They only clean. That's funny. One side at a time.
They make more money that way, bro. They make more money that way.
That part. That part. That part. I've been in the chair for 3 hours.
Man, when you see that dental bill, you're like, I did everything wrong in my life. I should have become a dentist.
Right.
No. Sitting there for 3 hours. I've had some work done and been in the chair for 3 hours. That is not fun. That is not fun.
He falls asleep sometimes.
Bruh. So once they numb you, all good. True that. But they got to get you there first.
Until it wears off.
So we had a topic for tonight that I labeled this: comic books and why we love them. I have been having, and Rich knows this, a certain degree of ennui with regard to comics. In large part because I don't really get to enjoy my comics. I've had a very busy year. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life that's not blackcomiclords related. Life be lifing, as Richard always says.
Yeah.
And I do not have time to enjoy my hobby. And what time I do have to enjoy the hobby is often spent managing these crazy individuals in BCO.
Hey.
Staring at you, Herschel.
I mean, look, it's we all busy. And I'm gonna just tell you, Paul, like I tell anybody, you will only do what you believe. So you got to find the time. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a routine on Saturdays. My Saturdays are dope.
Yeah.
But I don't lay in the bed. I'm usually up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I spend that time with the Lord, and then after I do that, that's generally the time I spend reading my comics. Mid-mornings is when I catch up with my comic book reading. This past week, I think I read like 20 books. I hadn't read anything from my pull list in 2 weeks, so I definitely understand your pain. I really, really do. And I think that I think what happens is you have to mix it up. You have to do something different. When I get to that kind of mundane place, you got to do something different. I tell you what I did. I recently went to Indie Planet. Shout out to Orlando. Y'all got a lot of dope stuff in Orlando. It's just not Mickey Mouse land out there. You guys have got some stuff out there. But Indie Planet, which is located in Orlando. If you ever been on Indie Planet, guys, if you're looking for something different to read, you're looking for some black content to read, you can go to Indie Planet.
I just got the shipment literally today from Indie Planet. Captain Jamaica.
Yay!
Herschel called me out and said, "Man, you can't be Jamaican if you don't have this."
Got that book?
He called me out. He called me out.
That's funny. And I think I showed that book. Yeah, I showed that book when I had my show Sunday. Yeah.
So I had to get both issues of the book. So literally got that today.
Yeah.
Because my Jamaican manhood was challenged and it not go work. So
I'm gonna be honest, Paul. When I ordered that book, I just knew you had it.
I had another Jamaican superhero book, but I don't think it was Captain Jamaica.
Yeah,
it was some other Jamaican superhero.
So I ordered some content from Indie Planet. Let's see. I just had the books. I just stuck them some hole. I ordered the Abraham book.
Yeah, I got that one right here.
Got 1 and 2.
That's a dope comic, Rich. Is that guy still around?
I don't know, but this is the
This
Afro
Abraham?
Yep. This Afro Fist, this is three issues. Man, this was hilarious, bro. This was hilarious. And again, you just got to do something, do something different. Get out your own way, and even I would say just challenge yourself to be something different.
Yeah, I mean, it's really slept on. I don't know why enough people aren't talking about it. Indie Planet is a great opportunity for you to read some dope independent comics at a really reasonable price.
Yes.
Most of the comics are like $5.
Right.
And they don't tax you on the shipping. The shipping is like another $5 or whatever.
Yep.
That's
where I got Willie Corday Jr., who is our guy. He pops up every now and then. But he had a comic book series called City Earth. I ordered his City Earth off of Indie Planet.
Oh, word? Yeah,
issues like 1 through 5, I want to say, or 1 through 4, I think it is. I think it's 5 issues though. Yeah. But yeah, independent. I don't know why people don't use it more. This is definitely, I would say, Indie Planet is more underground stuff. Though you can get stuff like some titles from Advent Comics, they have them there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's weird though, man, because I just don't know why everybody doesn't use it like that. Now, Moan says, don't sleep on that Deathblade.
Oh yeah. Look, did everybody watch that interview that Angel did?
Yeah.
I think I managed to catch it on the replay.
Yeah. How'd you like it?
The book is dope. He assembled a great team, very passionate about his book. Artwork is dope. Story is dope. I mean, all the things that we talk about, and here's the thing, fam. All the things that we talk about, the mundanity of a lot of stuff that we see at Marvel and DC. These indie books got it. I think for guys of like me and Rich, of men of a certain age, the only reason we haven't completely divested from Marvel and DC is habit.
Yeah, and nostalgia.
Right? And nostalgia and habit for the characters that we grew up with as kids, and we have a soft spot for them. I'm always gonna love Batman. I don't collect Batman like I did as a kid, but always gonna have a soft spot for him. Always gonna love Spider-Man, Peter Parker, even though I don't collect them anymore. But if you ask me, can I give up Black Panther, even though he's being dragged by Marvel right now, in many respects? No, I can't give up Black Panther. That's my dude. That's my ride or die. But indie provides you the content that we claim that we love. I think if they could only have, we talk about Milestone back in the day all the time, right? And what made Milestone great, the singular factor that makes it resonate to this day, is the fact that they were consistent in their production. Every week you had a new Milestone book.
Yep.
I didn't need any other comics when Milestone was out. I didn't need it. That's why people say, do you collect Milestone? I collected them all when they originally came out. I didn't have to go out and buy them retroactively. I had them when they first came out because they came out every week. That period of time when Milestone was out. Those were my comics. That's all I needed. I did not need anything else. I think maybe I still collected X-Men at the time. And I think that was about it. X-Men, Iron Man, and Milestone. That's all I needed. So it's kind of like, for me, indie provides me the stuff that I actually genuinely want to read.
Mm.
But the thing that I still can't get over is the consistency. I need stuff every month. I need something to look forward to every month. Or
Well,
alternatively, the answer is just don't release them in floppies. Just give me a trade paperback, a graphic novel, or something like that I can read all in one sitting. You know what I mean?
I think also, Paul, we cannot underestimate the power of good art.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, I think that keeps us, a lot of us, connected to Marvel and DC more than we probably willing to admit. When you got guys like Sanford Green,
Right.
who is kind of coming into his own, I would say,
Yeah.
in terms of mainstream success now. You know, Sanford Green has T-shirts now.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
Yeah, but
Sanford Green got T-shirts.
Walmart too.
So, you know, he had one at Walmart, he had one at Target. So shout out to all you Bammers out there that decide to want to boycott Walmart and Target when my man's just finally got his art in the stores. Yeah.
Well, I'll go in for that. I'll go in for that.
So,
go in for that.
So I mean, you know, and so we think about artists that you know, work with the big two. You know, the independents have, I would say, some are good artists. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person that I love stories, so I will defer the story over art. Art doesn't have to be stellar or whatever, but it's a plus to get it. I know that for me, Marvel and DC are a nostalgia habit thing. It is what it is. I was reading today. What I do with it? I was reading Wolverine. Actually, Marvel Comics presents number 62, and that's actually a Wolverine cover, but it features the first Deathlock story written by Dwayne McDuffie.
Really?
Yes.
I gotta check to see if I have that issue, man. You know, challenge me right here on the live.
Check it out. Check it out. You might have it, you might not, but it's the first. He writes a little, I want to say, a 8-page story in the book, but it's the first Deathlock, and this is the first Dwayne McDuffie written Deathlock book, because he does a 4-issue mini, and then there's of course the Deathlock run with Dennis Cowan that he did.
Which issue number is it?
I think it's 62. I want to say Marvel Comics presents 62.
Damn it! I do not have that.
Now you got something to go hunt.
I have 64 because it has a Blade in it.
Yep. Now you got something to go hunt for.
God damn it. Richard.
Speaking. Hey, this is why we love comics, bro. now, I'm finna call an audible, Paul, real quick. Let me see.
Yeah.
I just, because we talk about comics. Let me get up real quick. Be right back. Hold on just a hot second.
Ray Anthony Height says, "What about 4 indie issues a year?" I can't only have 4 issues a year, bro.
4 issues?
That's insane, bro.
God.
Yo, shout out to Ray Anthony Height, man. You did a dope job in that in the Power Company Recharge book, man. Love your art, man.
He says, "What about 4 indie issues?" I mean, look, Mr. Height, respect first of all. I'm gonna just say this: if I can get them like every quarter on time, I'm talking about like if I know a book is gonna come out every 3 months, and I got it, you know, on my calendar that I can get it like that. It's all good. It's love. It's when I don't get a book like 6 weeks, 8 weeks go by, 8 weeks, 10 weeks go by. I'm like, where's the book? I'm waiting on the next issue. I think that for us as comic book fans, we need some consistency. So I know we rank on Marvel and DC all the time because they're the big two and they can handle it. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of you independent creators, you should be thanking Marvel and DC that they can pacify fans like me and Paul.
Yeah.
Because if you guys were the only game, we would be very moody, depressed. So you ought to thank Marvel and DC for them whack comic books. You know what I'm saying? You ought to thank Marvel and DC for them legacy characters. You ought to thank Marvel and DC for all that crazy stuff that they put out and try to pass it off to us as art. Because that gives you guys time to give us something to consume and like. And I'm being really facetious when I say that, because again, if we can get these books, I'm telling you, Paul, we go back to the Milestone formula.
Right.
Milestone back in the 90s had their marketing set up where we had a comic book in the stores every week.
Right.
Every week. That's what we need.
What we have right now is I spend the majority of my time eating hamburgers until one of the steaks drop. Right?
Mm.
But I have to wait months before the next steak drops. Sometimes years. Right?
Yeah.
But Milestone had us eating sirloin every week, bro. Good times, good times.
I mean, you know, like I tell everybody, people still catching up to Milestone. And here's the thing: I don't want to be. Let me be transparent tonight. I don't want to be the old grumpy dude.
But that's your thing, though.
No, I have to be the old grumpy dude. Because see, let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens with age. What happens with age is you begin to reflect on your life. And then you begin to think about all the stuff that you've encountered, all the stuff that you survived, all the stuff that you had to wrestle with, stuff that don't even bother you anymore. And so when you look at things like you say, Paul, when we had Milestone and we had it like that, and we really couldn't really be thankful for it. You know how it is. And you don't miss your water till the well run dry.
Right.
Right.
Well, we were in a desert for quite a while. And so again, it's kind of like, I remember. And I just don't want to be that dude that I remember. I keep saying that all the time. I remember. And here's the thing. Shout out to all the young people out here. Because I don't really want to be that dude to keep telling y'all I remember. Because I know that you can't remember what I'm remembering. and here's the thing about life. Life changes on old people. Tastes change on old people. You grow out of certain things in terms of fans, as far as fandom. It's like the NBA. I can't watch the NBA. I'm used to 80s, beat everybody up NBA. This stuff today, I can't watch it because it's nothing. It don't look nothing like the game I fell in love with as a kid. So even when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's a new day, Paul. Yeah. And no, we don't have the Dwayne McDuffies anymore. We don't have, and it's okay. I have to find my fandom in other places and in other things. Shout out to Rodney Barnes. Now, Rodney, now you know Rodney Angel.
Yes.
Can we send an SOS? Where's my Philadelphia?
Why this man starving the family?
You know,
why are you starving the family, Rodney?
He too busy recording podcasts, getting bread. I see you. I see you working, Rodney.
It's not about you, Rodney. It's not about you.
So again, we that are older, we want these books. We want them on time. We want it is what it is. It is a disgusting habit. You know, he said next he'll say music, bro.
Don't get him started.
Please don't get me started. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, you know what? You, when you get older, your palate changes.
Yeah.
Your ears change. Listen, I've always loved jazz, but for some reason, it's the go-to now. Jazz was like I'm chilling with my girl back in the day stuff. Jazz was like I'm cleaning up my house, chilling stuff. The rest of the work was hip hop, rock, metal, all that crazy, insane in the membrane stuff. That's what that stuff. Now I can't stand it. It's like, what's wrong with you, dude? It is what it is. But hey, back to these comics.
Yes.
So
why do we love these comics? Rich?
Now shout out to John Jennings and Angelique Roche. Speaking of somebody that's supposed to have some delivered.
Hey, don't start.
I'm trying not to. But I'm gonna just say this. In the meantime, comic book heads, for as Marvel is concerned, Marvel put out this thing called the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Okay. Now, when you want to find black characters,
when did that come out?
These books came out 2006 for this one. This is the all new one. They had a 12-issue thing, and then they did 4 issues kind of update. Basically, most of the new characters that Marvel created, they put in a 12-issue and a 4-issue volume. Right. I found these at half price books for $2 each.
I hate Texas.
So basically, I got tired of waiting on John. I love you, John, but I see you out there living your best life, writing graphic novels and touring and lectures. We just some peons waiting on a book for you and Angelique to write.
I know, man. Shout out to all these black comic creators just giving us a little tease. Y'all like drug dealers, man. The first hit's always free. The first hit's always free. They always give you a little taste, get you hooked, and then they move on to something else. Why y'all do this to us, man? Why y'all do this to us?
But that's why we love comics, because we know that when we read a comic book that we really enjoy, that we really love, and we look forward to the next issue. Everybody likes that fix.
Yeah.
Right. I get more joy out of reading books than I do not reading books. Even books that are considered weak or not as good or whatever, I'm just kind of content with the idea. There have been a couple of books that I've read, I spent money on, that I was really upset that I wanted to go to the store and get my money back.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't do that though.
Especially nowadays.
But most of the time, I thoroughly enjoy what I'm reading. And sometimes you just have to go back to the essence. Which means that, steal away, read something different, whether it's a Batman comic book, whether it's Midnight Tiger by Ray Anthony Height. It's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing about T'Challa. Shout out to the Black Panther fans. Black Panther is one of the few comic books whose stories are actually very good. You'll be hard pressed to find a weak Black Panther story.
Volume 8.
Hey, look, all you Black Panther fans, you guys have been feasting. You guys eat all the time. You got one volume. You got, how many books was it? 15? You got 15
gosh
books,
darn issues.
15 out of 300. Okay?
Multiple covers.
You literally got 300 books. Okay, 15 of them, 285. You got 285 dope African Wakandan books. You got the best books. You got one volume you didn't like. You could be you could be Angel's here. I was gonna say you could be a Spider-Man fan.
Really? Seriously.
Look, hey, well, the word is that the new Spider-Man volume is pretty good. So have you read it?
It's good because Pepe Larraz is on it. I mean, Pepe Larraz is that dude art-wise. We talk about there's not good artwork at Marvel and DC like it used to be back in the day. But Pepe Larraz is that dude. I mean, he's the one who did that Blood Hunt series. So when people talk about the new Spider-Man, I don't hear anybody talking about the story. I hear them talking about Pepe Larraz's art.
Well, shout out to my man Reggie Collects. He made a commentary on. He said it was pretty good. He said here's the thing he did say. He said he didn't want to get overexcited, but he really enjoyed it. Right. So, I mean, you've read it, Angel?
I started to. I wasn't a fan.
Oh, okay.
You were not entertained?
The story, because when they start all over, it's issue 1 with the new story arc, and they made Peter Parker look like a bumbling idiot, like he can't keep a job. He's younger again. I don't know. It just seems a little recycled.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Angel was not entertained.
No,
Look.
But I've been reading Amazing Spider-Man since I was little. So when it's regurgitated,
Let me ask you this, Angel. Now you talk about a comic book. Now, Black Panther is hovering over, as far as the legacy, a little bit over 300 issues. Spider-Man is almost at 1,000.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I'm saying, Paul. You could be a diehard Spider-Man fan who is buying every book.
I do.
And shout out to Angel for taking one for the team.
Man, I still got so many comics. When we do our giveaways again, I got so many Volume 8 Black Panther comics to give away.
About doing this.
Oh, that's what's up. That's nice.
That's dope cover.
Nice.
That's really
that is a very dope cover. So, but here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying about that, though, Paul. So you got this character going back to T'Challa, right? You have one bad volume. I get it. It's terrible. Like I get it.
It's bad. But
I'll put it like this: y'all have enough volumes to wash that out your mouth, though.
True.
And that's all I'm saying. I mean, you got Christopher Priest's run. The stuff that Coates didn't like everything that Coates did, but he did pretty good. You got, Eve Ewing gave a very, very serviceable, I would say. She had to come right behind that.
Yeah.
Okay. And she kind of gave some level of redemption. Charlene Eden only had 3 issues to work with in terms of the Blood Hunt stuff. And it was very good.
It was spectacular. Cheryl needs to be the new writer.
And now, I mean, y'all, let me be careful. Because I'm talking to Black Panther fans. Ugh.
Choose your next words very carefully, Mr.
Choose your words very. Look, the ultimate Black Panther story is pretty amazing. But you guys are enjoying it, but you won't even give yourselves permission to really like it because it ain't the 616.
Because we have post-traumatic stress disorder from Volume 8. Understand. You're gonna make me go on a tangent, but you dragged me here. I was trying to be chill with the T'Challa stuff, but you dragged me here. Understand what I have been talking about literally on this channel for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What have I said? I said Marvel Comics no longer exists. It's now Marvel Studios. Yep. It's run by Kevin Feige. Yeah. Kevin Feige uses Marvel Comics as promotional material for the comic books, for the movies. It is no longer the source material for Marvel Studios. It's the promotional material. And in the movies, they decided to kill T'Challa as a character. He is dead. And I got, a wake-up call. As I've been saying, I see all these recast T'Challa people saying, look, we no T'Challa, no dollar. We're not coming back. Okay. Be prepared to stand by that because he's dead, y'all. I have no faith in Marvel Studios anymore.
Wait a minute. Hold on. He's not. He, as far as the MCU, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still in the Avengers book, isn't he?
He is. But where? He was. He's been gone for the last several issues.
Look, if I get it, but see, you guys, like I told you, you guys are rabid. You guys are.
But wait. You guys he's coming back. No, T'Challa's coming back.
No. I know
T'Challa's coming back in issue 26. But guess what? Issue 26 is the last issue of Avengers. You see how Marvel's trolling us.
But that's what they do. It is a corporation, and that's what they do. And they make it hard for us to enjoy comics because, again, they don't respect the source material.
As I've said for 3 years.
But that's the brand. That's Marvel. Here's the thing, though, Paul. That's just not Black Panther as a character. That's all their characters.
Understand.
Name me one character at Marvel that they 100% stand by and do right by every time.
None.
Marvel Studios or Marvel Comics?
Marvel Comics.
None.
None.
There's none.
None. And that's the thing. So all I'm saying to all of the Black BP, because I'm in there with y'all. I know we had a guy one time say, man, why you keep saying y'all or whatever? I love Black Panther. You guys know this. But here's the thing. They have done this with all of their characters. All of their characters. Now, the unfortunate thing is Chadwick Boseman passes. And they just decided to do something idiotic, which was kill him and, that. We're going to talk about Sinners later on, I guess.
$230 million therapy session.
Yes, I love Sinners.
I mean, Ryan, with all due respect.
You have found your lane, Ryan. You have found your lane. Stay in that lane.
We're still mad at you.
Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane.
They say we going to the movie theater watching Sinners eating popcorn with a smile and a frown. Like, nigga, why you didn't recast T'Challa? Why
right.
you gonna make something that's great? How you do something that's awesome and chill off my mans?
So you're gonna make a switch subject. So we'll go ahead and switch.
Segue.
We'll segue over to Sinners. Sinners has now crossed $145 million.
As it should.
It was $90 million to make. It's officially making money. It's now officially being profitable, and it's only the second week. There is still room for it to grow. I think the bolster also in sales is the fact that they understand when it was released, it was a limited release film.
Yep.
Right? Only like 30 something, I think it was, IMAX theaters in the country. Something crazy like that. Some ridiculous number where there wasn't that many. It's made to be an IMAX, but there weren't that many IMAX film theaters that had it. In fact, I believe next week might be the last week it's going to be in IMAX theaters, which is the format that it's designed to be played on and experienced.
I know somebody that drove like I think they drove like 2 hours to see it in the 70 millimeter.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yep.
Yeah, it is. It truly is the best way to see that film. It's an experience when you see that film. I can't say enough about it. I love the film. I really. Here's the thing. Richard said, Ryan Coogler, you need to stick with this film. And there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth for that because this is just like when Black Panther came out. It's bigger than the movie itself. Why? Because of the concept of IP. Ryan Coogler is making money off of an original story that he created. And he cut a deal with a major studio to own this movie in perpetuity. He gets his cut up front, big cut, and he gets, after 25 years, the movie comes back into his ownership fully in 25 years. He's a young dude. He's not even 40 yet. So he in his lifetime will presumably own this film and be able to enjoy the fruits and labors of his work. But moreover than that, he set this film up in a way where he could franchise it if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He could franchise it easily. He could make a Sinners too. There's a lot of material in there for him to run with.
Yeah.
But because he owned the IP, this is Black Comic Lords. My mind is on, damn, this would make a great comic book.
Yeah.
Expand the universe. You don't even have to touch about what's going to happen in the future. With the comic books, he could talk about what happened before this. You know, he could talk about what happened in the time span between the massacre in 1932 and what happened in 1992, 60 years later. What happened to Stack and Mary in that period of time? He could explore that in comics or a graphic novel. And he controls that IP, man. That's where the power is, y'all. That's where the power is. Having your own IP.
I will say that one of the strengths of this film is its ability, its connectivity in terms of telling the story. You don't get, to your point, you don't get a lot of backstory, but you get enough to understand what's going on. You literally are able to, you walk out the theater not asking questions about what this character was, whatever. There was only one plot hole. I can't remember how Derek phrased it or whatever, where they introduced something and they never went back to it.
The Native American.
The Native American. That was the only thing that they really did not, or I wouldn't even really call it a mistake, but they could have literally spent another 15 minutes exploring that.
Yeah.
And that would have been a complete, fully. That's why I say this movie is very, very good, not great. If we would have got that as well, because you literally would have almost got the whole human family in this story. Matter of fact, I saw some, shout out to Latinos. Word in these streets, y'all were mad that none of y'all was in the movie. Well, you know.
It's interesting about that. The scene, right? We all know what we're referring to when we talk about this. Angel, did you see the movie? You tend to not see movies when they come out. Did you see the movie yet?
I've seen it. I went inside.
All right, because whenever we talk about movies, oh yeah, don't spoil it for me because I don't see movies until a month after they. You saw the movie.
I absolutely loved it. I even stayed for the 2 post-credit scenes. Yeah.
All right, good. So the scene, and we all know what we're referring to when we talk about the scene.
Yeah.
And they go through all these musical genres, and given my background, I'm going, well, where's the reggae? Right? I said, why didn't you have some Brazilian music, some reggae music, because to show the whole diaspora. But then it occurred to me that scene was about the ancestors and progeny of the people that were at that juke joint. Right. So it wouldn't have been appropriate to show that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make arguments that, hey, the slave ship went this direction and this direction. So technically you do have, progeny that are in the Caribbean or South America or Latin America. And Richard and I could very well be cousins for all we know. But, that's a little too deep.
And this is,
Right.
let's just be honest, this is Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay. And people need to know this too, because America, for a long time, in her 200 and X amount of year history, this country, they bill it as a melting pot now, but this wasn't always a melting pot. For a long period of time, this was a black and white pot. And
with
the
a little
natives
bit of Asians
Well,
from the
and Native
railroad.
Americans.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying?
I will say this: there were Mexicans in Mississippi at the time who worked on some stuff. It would have been interesting if they had like one Mexican there or something, and then you would have had,
then there would have been, then it
had
would
the
have been
Mayans, had some
then-
Mayans, show up. That would have been kind of cool.
I mean, but again, though, I think that you can't, with a movie like this, you can't please everybody.
No, you can't. Please everybody.
So my thing with that is that, yeah, you can say that, well, why we didn't have this or whatever, but to me, that's getting on that woke train that too many people are on that boat anyway, because the truth be told, this was a movie experience where you got to see this lineage, you got to see the future, you got to see the expressions of how people worship or how people live culture. That's what you saw in this film. So for anybody to quote unquote may feel left out, I mean, I don't have an answer for you, because again, it's not like the film lacked anything. It really didn't lack anything. The only thing, like I said, the Native American stuff, and I think Jay brought it up. He said the Native Americans can be a separate movie on its own. That would be an interesting perspective.
They really could. They really could. I mean, I think would have been one of the few criticisms I had of the film was at the end, what would have taken no budget, no time, no excessive takeaway from the story. When all of the vampires got burnt up at the end, it would have been cool to have out, because the barn is surrounded by a forest, have at the edge of the forest the Native Americans looking on and seeing them all get burnt up and say to each other in Choctaw, well, that's one less problem we got to deal with. Let's go deal with the next one. And then with that simple line, it sets up, oh, well, these guys will be back. And there's other stuff that they need to go after. And what is the other stuff they're going to go after? That was a whole story that people are like, well, what happened with them trying to track down Remick? Where did that's a whole story in and of itself.
Yeah, and so, I think that we may get something along that line, but I also want to caution everybody too that the problem with a franchise like this is that rarely does the sequel or the prequel live up to the hype. That's with anything, okay? Godfather is about the only franchise I can say that was better. The second one was better than the original.
Well,
And we have to have a discussion about that. But I'm just saying that when you branch off and when you do sequels and prequels or whatever, there is that chance that it doesn't do as well as the original. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
no, you're right. You're right. It's very rare for a sequel to be better than the original.
Yep.
You can literally go down the list. Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Wrath of Khan.
Yep.
Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh yeah.
What are some of the sequels that were better than the original?
Accountant 2.
Did you see Accountant 2? Was it better than the original?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I saw the trailer, and the trailer looks amazing. So I'm definitely gonna go check it out.
Oh, it's good. It's
Captain
really
America.
good.
Captain America: Winter Soldier was better than the original Captain America.
Yeah. But you gotta, I'd say he gotta be really on it and see. To me, in order for him to like really do this like he needs to, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. He's gonna have to put that Disney toy down.
Who, Ryan?
Yeah, he's gonna have to put that down. And I know we got the cartoon coming, or the animated that's coming or whatever. And then he's got Black Panther 3 that he's going to direct or whatever. And we have not gotten we haven't gotten a story, pre-production, nothing on that. So I don't know when that's coming.
You know what's fascinating? And I've been watching a lot of interviews and background, behind the scenes stuff about the film. What's her face? Ruth Carter, the Oscar award winning costume designer for this film, who won Oscars for her work in Black Panther and some other stuff. She and the production designer, I forget the sister's name, the production designer is the one who gives the look for the film, right? She also worked with Brian Coogler in Black Panther and gave the look for the film. So these two sisters did interviews saying, well, the costumes that you saw and the locations that we found, we actually put them in this film, and it wasn't difficult because we had actually done the work for a prior project. The prior project being what? Blade. Ryan Coogler, I don't think people realize he really was in the mix for doing Blade, because he did so much pre-production work that Ruth Carter and the lady who did the pre-production stuff, did research on costumes, locations, and stuff for a Blade period piece film. Sinners ultimately is the child of that project, because Ryan Coogler was going to do Blade in the 1930s, because Blade was actually born in like 1890 or something like that. So this what we're seeing in Sinners was actually what Brian Coogler pitched to Marvel as his Blade film. And when they turned it down, he said, well, bump y'all, I'll make my own vampire flick, and I'll take some of the all pre-production work I already did and put it into my own flick.
Well, I think we got a better deal.
We did.
So, I mean, and again, now I see some of y'all are just bringing up stuff. Ray said the John Wick sequel is just as good, if not better, than the original John Wick movie. Stop, bro. We're going to stop that right now. We're going to stop that right now.
Kill Bill 2? Better than Kill Bill 1?
I love
John Wick.
Bill.
First of all, John Wick was a pure, loving movie about an assassin taking revenge for his dog.
Terminator 2 was better than Terminator 1.
That is pure. They killed his dog, so he killed the whole family.
Yes.
All 300 of them. That's a good movie. Now, I like the sequels, but that's the best John Wick movie. Y'all gonna stop with that shade. John Wick #1, and I know all the sequels are cool, and I like Parabellum and all that too, but you can't touch John Wick #1, bro. Now,
there are no bad John Wick films.
No, they're not. They're not. But I will say that the last one, when my man is all shot to hell,
he shouldn't have been walking.
Not at all.
He had so many bullet holes and stab holes in him. He was leaking everywhere.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. And you know what? That comic book is hard to find.
Oh, the John Wick comic book. Yes, it is.
The John Wick comic books are hard to find. Them things, they cost a mint. Now, I mean, again, it's one of those things where I'm happy that, Ryan got his success with this film, and we're gonna probably get some goodness to come out of it. He says Terminator 2 was better than the first. I don't know about that, bro.
Terminator 2 was definitely better than the first. Come on, man.
Can you really top Sarah Connor?
Terminator 2 was clearly better than the first one. Just like Aliens was better than the original Alien movie.
But there's nothing in. Hold on. Here's the litmus test right here, Paul. Somebody tell me a line from Terminator 2. Because I'll be back. That's number one. I'll be back.
It is number one.
And Sarah Connor is in the first one. Y'all give me a line from y'all don't stop this foolishness. Y'all just saying stuff at this point.
I'll give you a line. The line is
no, I need something better than that. I need something better than that. Man says The Dark Knight's better than Batman Begins. Yeah, I can go with that one. I can go with that one. I can go with that one.
Was Hasta La Vista Baby? That was from Terminator 2.
Yeah, but that you cannot.
You asked for a line. That was a line.
That was a line, yes, but that's not like. I mean, it's like Predator. Okay, is Predator 2 better than the first Predator?
No,
and that had Danny Glover in it. What do we remember from Predator from the first one? Get to the chopper. That's what we remember about that.
There you go. Come with me if you want to live.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wait, but that was the first one, though. That's what the old boy said to Sarah Connor.
Yeah, that was in the first one.
Yeah,
that was the first
one. That's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I give you a perfect one. The Matrix. Matrix number 1 is flawless. Now, the second one, and the third one are cool. But the first one is stellar, bro. He said what did you say, Charles? Predator 1 and 2 go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Come on, man. Y'all
hand to hand, and they're both named Predator, but I wouldn't say they're at the same quality level. I mean, Predator they're two different films, too. One's in the jungle, the other one's in the city. They're two
pretty much
different films.
Had some bad acting Jamaicans in it.
Yeah, let's talk about
that. Telling me Babylon.
Oh my goodness.
Some crazy scenes. All right, so let's move on to some other topics. Another thing that popped up is the fact switching back to comics. Diamond Comics. What's going on with Diamond? Distributors to be liquidated, Chapter 7 paperwork filed. So apparently, Diamond Comics was supposed to file some paperwork so that instead of, so they could reorganize their assets and come back. But somebody dropped the ball, didn't do what they're supposed to do. And so now they're in the process of possibly being liquidated completely. All the assets will simply be sold off, and without any intention of making them stronger and bringing them back. So what does that mean for comics? Angel, our logistics person, has a report.
I do.
This is your industry, logistics person.
I mean, some of the stuff I know, it's not like I can repeat it.
You can repeat it.
I cannot.
No one's gonna see it. This is Black Comic.
You know what? See, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, Angel.
That's not to fall for.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can talk about why they got into the trouble that they got into.
Wait, how come no one's liked this video? Where are my likes?
Oh, I guess they
Let's
don't
pause
want
the show. Let's pause the show.
Yeah.
I'm taking a commercial break until you guys like the video and share the video. Because look, I told you at the beginning of this, we did not advertise we were coming on to. This is a pop-up show. There's no advertisements whatsoever. So we rely on you guys to share the video to let people know that we're
I was going to
on.
give this away for free.
I am going, and Angel's got giveaways. She's about to give y'all free stuff. So we need to get some likes. We need to share the video. We're going to commercial break. I'm gonna give you less than a minute to like and share this video. Everyone do it. What's up, comic fam? It's your boy Paul with an exclusive look at a dope new section of our blackcomiclords.net website. Head to the site, click on Black Indie Comics for your selection of the dopest black comics around. And if you're a black comic creator and you want to be added to the site, send us your link with a copy of your logo so we can add it in there. But be patient. We're getting there. We're getting there. Much respect to all of you. I actually hate that video. I filmed it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was tired as hell.
It's 40 likes now.
How many likes we got now?
40.
There's like 50 people watching. There's like 10 people.
I know. It's like 12 of them holding out. What's up with that?
Why are you last 12 people?
Well, first of all, let me just say this about Diamond. Diamond, shout out to y'all. It was good till it wasn't.
I was going to give info about some of the reasons that they got into trouble is they took on for themselves, and I think this was a bit of heroism on their part, but it didn't do any good. When shops would be in trouble with either payment and or validating bad comics, like during shipping, if there was something wrong with a comic, there's supposed to have been a logistics process to get it returned, refunded, replaced. They did a lot of forgiving and it hurt them. It eventually got so bad that, you know, things are where they are. Instead of being a little more hard-nosed, they were trying to be very, you know, they just felt, and this is just what some people have said that were on the inside, is that they felt that they were so in fear of the comic book industry just collapsing that they wanted shops to still exist. And I think with a lot of things that happened with COVID, that hurt them more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
That hit everybody hard because the comic book industry was already suffering. It was starting to die out. You know, kids weren't introduced by their parents to comic books like ours were. It just wasn't a real thing anymore. So for them, those surviving LCSs, because they were already dying out before COVID, but that really devastated. Many shops closed during COVID, and then Diamond is also absorbing the blunt of their over forgiving with inventory. So
yeah, they took a L when it came to that kind of thing. Most LCSs are not even 100% comic shops.
No,
gaming has taken over. Most comic shops have a manga section, and it's just as big as the comic book section.
Yeah.
So, you know, the LCSs have kind of had to pivot and do something different. And of course, it didn't help that, you know, DC first left, and they went to Lunar, I think it was.
Yep.
And then Marvel went to Penguin Random House.
Yep.
So the independents seemed like they were going to get, you know, a focus on them. And yes, they were focused on, but the problem was, to Angel's point, they couldn't collect. And that starts from the top down. Aftershock Comics is one such comic book company that I've read about that wasn't paying their artists. They would do a book and they couldn't get paid. And that's just one independent comic book company. So multiply that with, say, maybe 50, you know, and you having a hard time collecting or whatever, you know. At some point, you know, something's got to give. And then so now with this bankruptcy or whatever, the handwriting was on the wall because the shipments were getting to the stores late, be a week, be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stolen pallets. People still don't know what happened to that Black Panther.
No.
Nobody knows.
Details of the location of those comic books are inconsequential to the comic book community. Don't worry about it.
Yep, but y'all don't
They
still.
were the Black Panthers.
That's the sad. It's somebody sitting on a pallet of Black Panther #1 books. That is hilarious. Nobody else got their comic book stolen, but okay, BP. Gotta love the Black Panther fandom.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The comic book industry, I'm not going to say is going to survive, because I do think that as AI becomes more and more present, guys, it is what it is. And,
complain about it, run from it.
Destiny still arrives.
Destiny still arrives. AI is coming. I realized AI is coming when someone at work recently said, "Hey, you don't have to write that. Just prompt AI to do it," and it wrote a damn near flawless thing for me. And I was like, "This is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Very dangerous."
There's something called is it quantum? There's AI has programs right now that the AI is learning.
It's supposed to. That's how it's designed.
I know, but that's the thing, Angel. What happens when as it learns, it becomes more independent? And therefore, we got Skynet.
It's not just independence. When AI learns to become creative, it's not just there's programming information. There's being able to memorize and regurgitate information. Right. It's a whole other thing when you start to have creative thought. Where you're able to analyze that information and create something new. That's crossing a threshold that I think a lot of people are afraid of, because what's the difference between that and a level of consciousness?
Well, that's the thing. If we're teaching this thing to serve us or to protect us, we enjoy these movies. I give you a movie. We were talking about movies earlier. The movie I, Robot. When these robots came and developed a decision-making perspective, where they have certain laws in place that they're supposed to quote unquote protect, right? Yet it makes a decision. Like, let's say Angel is somewhere with her daughter, and the daughter falls in the pool, and she goes in after, and the robot sees and it says, "Well, Angel is older, so she can." Her life is not as important as the younger life, or the younger life isn't as important as the older life, because the older life is paying taxes. These are, I'm just saying, these are the things that people that are paranoid are thinking about.
Well, no. So let's name the thing a thing. The fear is that the way humanity stands now, with the violence and disregard of life, is that the AI will learn from its creators. That's the fear. It's not going to come up by itself of what it's going to learn. It's going to learn from its creators. And until humanity as a whole on this planet actually values life, there is a very real risk that the AI will follow suit. I guess we need to do better.
Styles So Serious mentions learning and sentience are two different things.
Yeah, Styles So Serious, but and I know that look, I didn't seen enough movies to know that stuff goes wrong. Look, what the first? Let's play a quiz. Angel, you're not as old as me and Paul.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question. Name this movie. Name this movie. Name this movie.
Okay.
Matthew Broderick is the star.
Can you play a game?
Yeah. War Games. That's the first, I would say, AI movie that I saw that made you think like, that's interesting. So I'm just saying, and look,
Nah, man.
at one time, all the things, look,
that was like 1984. The first one, Tron.
1984, I was 9 years old.
But the thing about Tron is you ain't have to worry about
I love Tron.
The AI.
Tron was about the computers realizing that they could come out into the real world, which is what this new Tron Ares movie is all about.
Yeah, the next one is, yes. I cannot wait for it.
The biggest fear is AI taking jobs and leaving millions jobless.
And that's happening right now.
That's already happening. That's
happening right now.
I think there is an era of change coming because the mundane job, the factory job, absolutely at this point can be done by an AI, and you have the robotic arms. Anything that's mundane and repetitive can be done. What is also happening is a lot of the education system is gutted. So instead of us advancing and taking on the more complex nuances and filling in those spaces, there is a stunted progress. So yes, there's a fear of jobs being replaced, but I think we're in that era that the repetitiveness already needs to be something that a computer does, an AI does. Humanity is supposed to move a little bit forward, and we're not. So we're grasping onto what we've done before because it's familiar.
Angel, you're forcing me to go into there are two things that I try to avoid engaging in conversations in public about.
Wow.
Politics and religion.
Hey, I didn't bring it up.
You did. You did, Angel. You absolutely did. Because we live in a society now where we have someone running the country. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I don't care. I'm gonna get on my soapbox.
I hear you. Okay.
Where someone's running the country, promising people we're gonna make America great again, and we're gonna pass these tariffs to bring this work back to the United States. But understand, we've known for over 20 years now that America's economy has changed. The world economy has changed. We cannot scale to compete with many countries, particularly third world countries, that have the ability to do industrial work cheaper than American workers are willing to pay for. We cannot expect this Make America Great Again thing is like we want America to be back in the Industrial Revolution where we made all these great things, but these things are made by either cheap labor in various countries or it's made by robots. Industry stuff it's robots. Then you add into that AI taking some of the more intellectually challenging jobs away. Even something as basic, used to say, well, look, at the very least, you can go work at McDonald's or you can go be a bagger at a grocery store. What they do? Self-checkout. You can't even get a
Which isn't
bagger job.
working very well right now.
You can't get a cashier job anymore because they're finding ways to cut out workers. Brick and mortar stores are no longer a big thing because now you have Amazon. You got Walmart doing deliveries.
But you're like missing the gap. There is such a shortage on IT. IT has grown and expanded exponentially because of AI.
Absolutely. But that's the point I'm making.
There's a shortage on people that know Salesforce, prompt engineering, all this stuff that I've recently certified in the last 2 years myself, just so I understand what I'm looking at when I'm in meetings and stuff. There's a shortage. They automatically walk in the door certified on prompt engineering, and it's $30 an hour. But we're trying to be cashiers. Like it's
I think that the problem. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the bullet that we're going to have to bite. And it's going to start with education. Education in this country has to change. It has to change.
You know who said that?
Who?
Obama. He said that as soon as he got into the office. He's like, y'all people sitting there talking about you want to bring back the coal industry. You want to bring back the auto making industry. When you should be thinking about, I need to teach my kids how to do code. That's where the future of America lies, is in intellectual property, intellectual computer coding and stuff like that. That's where he said it. I want to invest in America's education of our youth to learn how to do computer stuff.
Yeah.
But there was
and people pushed back and said, no, great granddaddy he shoveled coal out of a mine, and these woke people took away our coal mining, and with all their Greenpeace stuff and saying it's bad for the environment. And I built cars, and my daddy built cars, and my granddaddy built cars, so we should be able to build cars too. But because
they're finding out, though, Paul, these people, the ones that you're mocking,
right?
They're finding out that wasn't the move either.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this is how I think that, to Angel's point, you don't have enough people that's skilled in this particular. So what they're going to have to do is kind of what I hate saying this, kind of what Biden was doing. You got to let some people in, and you got to have some people kind of like geared to that industry. The whole thing with Vivek, y'all remember that guy? He was out here on the GOP train, and until he found out that the 47 wanted him out, and it's like, wait a minute, we got to have some people that are smart enough to do this technology work, because you don't have that force in America right now. You know what you got in America? You got a gig economy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. I knew it was bad, Paul. I had a buddy of mine, a coworker of mine. I drive trucks. I had a coworker of mine, got his son a job at my job. This dude wouldn't come to work on time. You know what he did? He told his daddy that he was gonna do. It wasn't DoorDash at the time. It was. I think it might have been Uber, but he said he was going to do that. He didn't want a job making with benefits. He didn't want a job, a steady 40+ hour week job. He'd rather go drive around town in his own vehicle. And to Angel's point, you don't have the force. And here's the thing. Let me ask you, Angel, since you're in the industry, so kind of, Where do we get these people? Because these jobs got to be filled. Somebody has to do these jobs.
Yeah, there are plenty of those people, but they're being deported.
You got to bring them back. You got to bring them. You got to bring them back. What else you gonna do? Because if the industry is, if we're literally going this way, right? And you don't have nobody, that means America will cease to be a player in that industry. It's getting its lunch eaten by China right now.
They have a bullet train in China that goes 800 miles in 4 hours.
It's amazing when people say, you know, America's greatest country in the world, we got the greatest economy, but who owns all our debt? China. So when you say China, I'm going to make America great again because I want to put tariffs on you, China's like, that's cute.
They're laughing at us. They're literally laughing.
You know who owns all your debt, right? You want us to call your debt, Mr. Tariff Man?
US dollar becomes a subprime currency. Oh, we're in for it.
You think China cares about our damn tariffs?
No.
The biggest economy in the freaking world.
Michelle 2028. Yeah, come on now. Look, let's have a come to Jesus moment. That's not gonna happen.
She is not sacrificing herself for this.
That is not gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you why I know it's not gonna happen. Because Michelle Obama is doing podcasts. She doing what we doing. She need a job too, Paul. Maybe we can hire the Black Comics.
Michelle Obama does that purely for fun.
We do too. You know what? See, this is a full circle moment, Paul. You see how depressing the conversation got? We start talking about AI. That's why we read comics, to get out of to not think about the nastiness of the world. We need comics.
I manifest says Obama has a good point. He then proceeded to bail out the speculative economic industry, Wall Street. Well, was that, or have the economy shut down? In which case, that would have caused global chaos.
Look, I have my issues with that. Ugh. He did it to save the industry, but what did they do?
Not the industry, the economy. There's a big difference.
The economy.
He saved the economy.
We'll say the economy. But what happened? He bailed out the auto industry. Now you go to the lot and you can't afford nothing on the lot. You're literally having, for the first, there are cars right now sitting on lots, used car lots with over 120, 150,000 miles on them. And they're selling because the American people cannot afford to buy the new stuff. Who wants to buy a car?
That's not Obama's fault. That's not Obama's fault.
I'm not saying this is fault. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, but this is where we are. Now you got 7 and 8 year car loans.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's criminal, is what it is.
And that's why I read comics and drive used cars. So, Paul, let's find out what we're reading this week, because this conversation has took a turn.
Let's move on to happier times.
So I want to talk about this Spider-Man.
Hey, make Angel big, Paul.
Angel has, how do I make her big? How do I do that? No, not that way. This way. There we go.
So this issue is Legacy 300 for Miles Morales, and I bought an extra one by mistake. So pick a number from 1 to 100, and I'll randomly pick someone to get this in the mail.
Well, I'm glad you came up with that scheme, because I thought you were going to ask me to do all the stuff that Derek does. I don't know how to do that. Derek's off tonight.
No, just pick a number 1 to 100, and I will reach out to a random winner and mail this off to them this week.
Do you have a number in your head right now?
No.
You have to.
Well, they started
to give numbers. You got to come up with a number. Don't look at the screen. No, don't look at the screen. Don't be influenced. Close your eyes and look up the
influence.
number.
There's like
Don't
50
look at the
people
screen.
in the
Don't
chat.
look at the screen, Angel. Don't look at the screen. Don't look at the comments.
That's hilarious.
Come up with a number in your head. Let us know when you have a number.
Not tell them. I feel you, bro. I'm depressed too.
You have a number. Okay.
I have a
Now you
number.
can look at the screen, look at the comments, and see who has the number.
Closest to it, I guess.
Wait. Let's not do it that way because might be influenced. People say you're influenced.
I already have the number.
All right. So don't look at the screen. We'll let people keep putting their numbers on, and then you're going to say what the number is without looking at the screen. And then whoever has the number will win. This is so janky and ghetto right now.
It's janky and ghetto.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So again, this is Miles Morales 300.
You got 30 more seconds. I'm giving y'all 30 more seconds to win that really dope Miles Morales cover. That really is a dope cover. That's a work of art, honestly.
So this is all different Miles Moraleses in here to make up this emblem.
Move that closer to the screen, to the camera. Let people see the detail. That's a dope cover.
Yep.
That is objectively a dope cover by anyone's standards.
Yeah, it's all Miles Morales, all made into.
Except the red parts are Peter Parker.
Wow. You know what?
Because he's derivative.
So.
He's derivative. So they can't make the man have his own cover.
And then who's this? Like, you see that? I never noticed that before. It's like
that's his mom's. That's his mom's.
Mom in there.
That's Rio Morales.
Hey, man, we need to go on and call it now. What we got?
All right. Without looking at the screens, don't look at the screen. Stop looking at the screen.
No, I already turned. I can't see the comments. I already.
All right. What's the number in your head?
The number is 52.
Let's see who has 52. Don't try to post the 52 now.
I got one that's close.
Nobody has 52. Literally,
no one that's close. That's close.
Only
we want the closest number.
Who's the closest?
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Who?
L-Dog. He has
L-Dog has 42.
So that's what, 10 away? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else closer? That's it. L-Dog, did you win?
L-Dog won.
L-Dog won then.
So L-Dog, what you have to do now, we need you to email your address to blackcomiclords@gmail.com. Say that you're L-Dog and your name and your address, and Angel will email you. Or you want to
tracking number?
You want them to email it to you directly, or you not want to give your personal information like that? Just email the Black Comic Lords. We'll forward it to Angel.
Okay.
I don't need some weirdo to be stalking Angel.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Again.
Unsolicited.
That's hilarious. Anyway.
Angel has fans. We don't know why Angel has a bunch of fans.
That's fans. So, there is a holiday coming up this week.
Hold on, let me answer this person's question. Why does he have his mom's
last name?
Well,
go ahead, Paul.
This is a little problematic. I love Miles Morales, but the creator, Michael Bendis, made things a little problematic. We'll start with this. Miles' father's name. Does anyone know who Miles' father's name is? Miles' father's name is Jefferson Davis. Who is Jefferson Davis historically?
Isn't he a police officer?
Jefferson Davis. That's a boom.
Who's Jefferson Davis, Richard?
Oh, he's a Confederate.
He is the president of the freaking Confederate States of America. He is literally the president of white supremacy.
But he would have been Miles Davis. He would have been Miles Davis, though.
They named a black man who's the father of a superhero after the president of the Confederacy. Wow.
But that would have been a nice trade-off, though. His name would have been Miles Davis.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes. But the story goes, Def Rocker, that Jefferson hated his dad. And as a result, he did not want to pass on. He said that their family had problems. And that his brother, obviously Aaron, was a criminal, prowler, what have you, and did not want to have the Davis name, which I take offense to, that's my last name, Davis name passed on to his son. So he had his son take on his mother's name to not let that legacy continue. So in essence, the black man's legacy is so poor that he did not want to pass it on. It's the whole thing is problematic.
Yeah, I told you it's Jermaine's fault.
Shout out to L Dog.
That's
$20 super chat.
That's what's up.
That's literally the only super chat we got tonight. I'm very disappointed in y'all, but
it's still nice thing, y'all. We got a little bit of time, maybe.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
So he asked Mr.
We only have
Bell asked the question: did they change it to Morales in the comics?
Did they what?
Did they change it to Morales in the comics? They did.
Yeah, his name is Miles Morales.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I mean, look, my man's then brought up Mr. DC Comics. Static Shock ain't got them problems. No, he don't. You know, there's a podcaster on in the internet space who's talking about underused characters. Mawan with the super chat.
Uh-oh. There we go. Family starting
Thank you. Thank
show some
you.
love.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Evolve back! Evolve back!
To the rest of y'all out there, I have a question for you.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
It could get very entertaining right now. We're talking about Static, you know.
Give us some super chats. Appreciate you, Marwan. Thank you very much, sir.
So Static, which is criminal, is not in a comic book right now.
Ushers, close them doors. Close the door.
That's funny.
Oh my God, that brings back a memory. I went to this church. My wife and I went to this church once, and they literally were having a 5-hour service. They literally said, "Close the doors." Our first time in the church. Close the doors.
No.
I know some of y'all got some more money in your pockets.
Oh, I saw that.
I know some of y'all have more money in your pockets. Nobody's leaving until we get that money that's in your chain.
No.
Empty out your pockets right now. You're not leaving. Literally kidnapped us. Literally kidnapped us. Nobody's leaving until you empty your pockets.
Serious. You out of line. I never should have paid it. You know what? All I'm gonna say is this: look, as the associate pastor of Black Comic Lords, I'm gonna just simply say this when it comes to
associate. You're the full pastor, bro. You're not there's no associate.
I'm gonna just say this. Now that situation that happened with old boy, I'm gonna just say that when they recorded that, whoever recorded that knew that they were gonna drop that bomb on people. And here's the thing: I'm not a fan of locking anybody in. No, I don't even listen. I don't even like kids having shut-ins at church, let alone locking the doors. And no. I have been in services where that has gone bad. When you're trying to wrest money out of people, no, that is not how it goes and not supposed to go. But again, it gets a lot of churches and pastors get a bad rap for a few bad apples. You know, it is what it is. But you know, y'all don't have to worry about that.
What it is.
Now I've seen some YouTubers stop a stream, shut a stream down when they don't get no super chat. I have seen that.
Oh, I've done it. But we don't have that problem tonight because we got I Manifesto. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So
and Mr. DC Comics.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk about that in a second. Thank y'all. With that, you guys are going to get a super chat video, which I can't.
Show me the money. Yeah! Louder! Show me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money. I love black people.
Jeff Roger asked, what could it have been saying for 5 hours? Here's the thing. As someone who has been in ministry, I can tell you this, that if you have a service longer than, say, an hour, you're doing too much. Because most people can't retain but maybe 20 minutes of what's said, what's done in that hour. Only 20 minutes. That's why when you hear certain preachers preach and they preach for, 20 minutes or so or a half hour or so, and that's it. Some people say, that's it. That's it, because you ain't gonna remember or you're not gonna retain anything beyond that. And so when you are in services like that, I've been to services like that where people just feel like, they're going to get something more than what they can get in an hour. Look, if the service is high and the praise is going on, have at it. But to go into something like that for an extended period of time, nah, we're good. Because, again, you wear people out when you do stuff like that. So even when it comes to teaching or whatever, you go past an hour, you're doing too much. Because again, you're going to get somebody that's not, or you're going to get people that are not going to be able to retain that knowledge. I mean, we read comic books. Do we remember everything we read in the comic book? And that may be 15 minutes. No, that's just the human brain. So when people do stuff like that, it's kind of like, you're doing too much.
All right. Somebody asked us about comic books that dropped. Well, before we get into comic books that dropped, let's talk about comic books that are going to drop. It's a holiday, y'all. What's the holiday, Angel?
Free
comic book day.
Free.
And may the fourth be with you.
That too.
Free comic.
Got that coming up too.
Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Let's check out the titles. Archie's Comic Spectacular for all you Archie fans. No artwork on his Power Rangers VR Troopers. Come on now. Power Rangers. Super Sentai. He's a brother on the cover of this one. Young Jedi Adventures. I don't know if anybody's watching this show, but
I watched the show. I like it.
It's actually a dope show. If you're a
Star
Wars,
hey man, Dennis Cowan in the building. He's stopping by to say hello.
What?
Hey,
Dennis. Thank you for your new. Yes, you're very welcome, sir. You're very welcome. Hope you enjoy. We're at a con. Help us get some free advertising. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
See, now you're doing too much, Paul. You like that, man? Preaching for 5 hours. You're doing too much.
I'm always doing too much.
The goat,
said 5 hours.
the goat got the hat. He gonna wear it, I'm sure. What else we got?
All right. So let's go back to what's coming.
I got that.
Thundercats and the Power Girls. That makes no sense. I'm sorry. That makes no sense.
Man, I don't know. Crossovers be dope, bro.
Yeah, you can miss with that one. Speed Racer Zero by Mad Cave Zero Studios.
See, that's the one you were asking me about. I don't know. I might wait till Saturday to get it. Do
you see the pattern we have developing here, though? Japanese anime products and Super Sentai stuff, Powerpuff Girls, Speed Racer, bringing back all these properties, Japanese properties from our youth. Fantastic Four, you got to have a Fantastic Four X-Men book because obviously X-Men animated series did really well this past year, and we had the Fantastic Four film coming out, so that was inevitable. Spider-Man Ultimate Universe #1. Now, the Ultimate Universe has a storyline, the Incursion storyline that's coming out, in which Miles Morales from our universe, well, technically the 6160 universe, but that Miles 1610 comes into this new Ultimate Universe, and
he goes back. He doesn't come to it. He goes
well, the original Miles's original universe is gone. It was destroyed in Secret Wars. So this is another Ultimate Universe that the maker, I don't know, created, what have you. And he's bringing it's ultimate. Phineas and Ferb has a comic book. Dr. Seuss has a comic. The Energon universe, which is dope.
I saw that.
Fan of G.I. Joe, Transformers, the Energon universe is for you. I'm telling y'all, I'm telling you now, this is going to be a high demand book. Don't ask me why. I'm just predicting this is going to be a high demand book. Try and get it if you can. Conan, Scourge of the Serpent. Titan Comics. I'm a Conan guy. I love Conan. Valiant Zombies Resurrection. Valiant makes dope comics, but biting the zombie thing to sell comics, I don't know. Y'all need to focus on making dope comics again. Mighty Nine Origins. I know nothing about that. I know what that means. Black Hammer.
I have no idea.
This is the whitest new comic book they I've seen.
I was waiting for one of y'all to pick. I was trying to establish that was the pattern.
Can we just?
We have not seen. Have we seen any black comics? Any quote unquote black comics? Let's just scroll through a little faster. We saw the little Jedi kid, but other than that, oh, here we go.
The
Marvel's voices. Ironheart Marvel voices.
That's
So why isn't any indie comics doing free comic book day?
These are indies. The Phantom, Mad Cave. Most of these are indies. The only
no, Paul. We're not gonna school. We're not gonna pay. We're not gonna miss this opportunity. Shout out to all you black independent creators.
Okay, here we go.
Why y'all not doing free comic book day?
There we go.
Can we get some free comic? Can we get a free comic? Black indie creators?
Seriously, what is that?
Creaky Acres, a graphic novel for young readers. I'll have to pick this up for my daughter. This looks like something my daughter would read. But yeah, Angel, you make a good point.
I'm speaking to everybody that knows me. Where's your free comic book? Because for real,
where's your free comic book? This is a perfect opportunity for you to sell some books. The first hit is always free. What did I say earlier in the show? Y'all like drug dealers. The first hit should be free.
Month coming. Like, what's up with that? Thorn Identity. What's up?
Is my man Jeff in the house?
Yeah.
Yep.
Amandla.
Appreciate it. I tell you what, shout out to Jeff. Jeff, I definitely enjoyed X-Force number 10.
That X-Force number 10, Jeff, you brought back Xander. What?
Yep. Princess
Jeffrey Thorne? What?
Princess.
He saved the best for last. I'm so mad. When I read X-Force 10, I was big mad.
First appearance, Black Panther number 1.
God. I was big mad when I read X-Force 10. I was like, oh my God, X-Force 9, he had the John Wraith joint going on. Brought back Xander. Man.
I shout out to John Wraith. He was quoting scripture all through that. You had me in my feels, Jeff. You had me in my feels.
John Wraith he brought him back better than he was when he first came out. Jeff, I feel your pain on that one, man. Because look, I've said for a long time, what I look forward to seeing you write is a sci-fi book. Your sci-fi speak is better than anybody I know.
Right.
You need to be writing a sci-fi book, your own original work. Normally, when I say that, I'd be like, "Oh, go write Star Wars or Star Trek," but bump that. We're on our indie stuff right now. I want to see some original.
Ray is
Jeffrey
shouting out
work.
Jeffrey Thorne.
I want to see some original
John Drake.
original Jeffrey Thorne sci-fi comic.
He's
That's
saying just for you, Rich. I appreciate that. I sure was happy when I saw it. I was like, oh, scripture. I went
Here
to
we
my
go.
Bible. I was like, okay, Jeff, I see you working, dude. Yeah, that was dope.
Super chat figure. Here we go. Thank you, sir.
Yep,
And we had another one too. We had another one coming right after. Wraith 7. Is there a major pops resident? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Our fellow Black comic lord Jeffrey Thorne. Shout out to you, bro.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
And don't forget Moses Magnum. Shout out to Pericles. Bring
Yes,
that
Moses Magnum. Thank you. And X-Force 10. And he made him fierce too, right?
Yep. He was. He was dope. He was dope. He's actually, I actually like Moses Magnum in this book.
Yes, he was.
He's supposed to be the bad guy.
Everyone talking about Dr. Doom. Bring back Moses Magnum. He brought him back in the end of the book.
I tell you what, though, don't sleep on that Doom book. That Doom book is good.
Yeah, man.
That Doom book is good. I was like, man, when just to see Dr. Doom riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex Doom.
Oh, yes. I love that one. That's my favorite.
It's hilarious. What kills me is he has the cloak. He has the cloak, Paul.
Yeah.
The dinosaur has the Doom cloak.
How do you even make cloak that big?
Somebody laughing. I was like, they just out of line. Somebody need to get the pencils on that for real. I need the original pencils. These you don't do this.
Oh man, that is like everything.
That's the most comic book thing I have seen in a little while. Shout out to get DJ Phil on the line, see if he can hunt down the original pencils on it. I need that for real. I just want to put that on my wall. Like, what is that? That's Doom and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Angel, I brought this up. I said, you know what? That's what they ought to do. They ought to take Godzilla, because they're doing a lot of Godzilla books. Godzilla versus the Doom dinosaur. That would be money.
That would be epic. I would love it.
Just so we're clear, before we go on off of the free comic book day thing, just so we are clear, literally, the only thing that comes close to being a Black independent comic is Creaky Acres. Assuming, I don't know who Callisto Brill and Nana Magruder are, assuming they're Black, this is the only Black independent comic book on free comic book day. Would it be wrong for me to say shame on you?
No,
because this is what I'm bringing up. Like the need to produce sales, to grow your business. There are some things that you don't have to reinvent. And free comic book day, you don't even have to do a 28-pager. You can do a 12-page sample just to get the exposure. Sometimes it's not about the immediate dollar. It is about the exposure. If people don't know who you are or what you're about, you have to give them a sample.
Listen to what Angel just said. Angel said, you can do a 12-page sampler. You know the one I remember that did that? Unique Studios did Iyanu, #1, as a free comic book day sampler.
Yep.
And
you want to see that thing? Go check on eBay.
Yeah, that book is going for a little bread.
Going for a little bread right now. but everybody knows who Yano is. All of us
Yeah,
have that in back issue bins. We all have a copy of that book because it was free. Came out years ago. You can find it in dollar bins everywhere.
So Jay asks a question. He says, "New champions, number 4 in Gold Tiger. Thoughts?"
Thank you for raising that. New champions, number 4. The origin of Gold Tiger.
Oh, I love that cover.
The origin of Gold Tiger. All right. My thoughts. First of all, I love the New Champions. It reminds me of one of my favorite comics of all time, Warriors. I love the young, positive. We want to do things better than the adults who look over the little guy and do things right our way, superheroes type thing. I don't know why I love it, but I love it. It reminds me of 12-year-old me. Gold Tiger, her origin story can be summed up thus. She's from Wakanda. Her parents are Wakandan scientists, right? Oh, thank you, Rich, for the visual aids. Let's make Rich, you're going to provide me our visual aids.
Yeah, you ain't gonna like this video though.
That's all right. Is that
That's,
dude?
That's the dude. That's the dude with the dinosaur.
Come on, man. You don't even stay on code, man. Stay on code. I'm gonna make you produce you down, this brother. Anywho, Gold Tiger's parents are Wakandans. They're scientists, and they said, "Hey, let's explore vibranium. Let's find vibranium because T'Challa is out trying to find vibranium, the origins of vibranium throughout the world, the universe, what have you." So they find vibranium in I don't remember what it was. It was like Asia or South America. I forget the territory of the world. But they find it, and it was taken to a temple. Some people built a temple around it. But the vibranium's unique. It's gold.
Man, gotta be stuff.
I don't know why it's gold.
Mm.
The mother touches it, and it disappears. Sometime later, she has a baby, and they find out where it disappeared. It's in the baby. Gold Tiger. Does that make her a mutant, or does that make her more like Blade, a mutated baby? I don't know. It's not important. It's not important. The fact remains, she now has the ability to create gold vibranium with her touch. She can turn things to gold, but it's temporary, and that's her superpower. I'm simplifying, but her origins in the story, cool character. All the champions are cool characters. I'm waiting for the origin of Squire, basically the young black Moon Knight. But what does that make this? A black comic key. Mm-hmm. New champions number 4. I would even specify this particular cover because she's on it. And it says the origin of Gold Tiger. There's another one that has the whole team. But I think the main one that says the origin of Gold Tiger, this is the one that you want to get. That's the black comic key.
That's what's up. I tell you what, man. Champions could be a good book. What I mean by a good book means it could be something that people get into really.
Yeah, it's generally
the Avengers book right now is not really doing it. And I know Jed McKay, he been knocking it out the park, but it's getting a little bit long in the tooth with this run. For real. You know what I'm saying? Because I think did you say 28 is going to be like the last issue?
26, yeah.
26? So they're getting ready to probably start that back up again. And, the Avengers is probably going to be.
It might be 28. It's 26 or 28, one of the two.
We may not get a Avengers book with T'Challa in it, Sam Wilson, for a minute. I don't know. Either way, as far as team books go, I'm interested to see what. Is anybody reading Fantastic Four? See what I'm saying? See, if you'd have been reading Fantastic Four, Paul, you would have found out the origin of the dinosaur Doom, bruh. You got to understand. See, Doom literally downloaded his essence or his thoughts into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, I'm
Jeff
just
Rocker
really
says
enjoying.
there's Godzilla versus Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy.
That's the original. That's the original book. And does Moon Girl an original character or is she a legacy character?
That's the big debate. There was a Moon Boy, obviously.
Yes, back in the day.
Does that make her? In fact, there was a Moon Girl, but she was completely unrelated. There was the only similar in name only. Like, I don't know. This is some of those things that Herschel likes to.
Yes, he does.
And troll people over.
They said, "Nah, OG got to be on vacation. He done brought up the Doom dinosaur." Well, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I get a kick out of comic books that are funny to me. That's all. Because we read a lot of content, whether it's horror, science fiction, or whatever, and sometimes you don't really just laugh out loud at some of these books. And so, man, the Doom book is a very good book. I know some people are not happy with it, but I'm happy with it. You know what I'm saying? Anytime a person like Doom talks in third person, I just find that hilarious. You know, Doom is not the problem. Doom is here to save you.
Yes.
It's like, come here on with your bad self. Yeah. I don't know how that book is gonna or how that series is gonna wrap up, but right now Doom seems to be the hero. I mean, because they're literally trying to find out what did he do with the leaders of the world, why they like his flying monkeys right now, and they've been doing all kind of things, and it was like, no, this is legit. These guys are really believing in him, and he hadn't done nothing shady. But at some point the other shoe's gonna drop. How it's going to drop, I don't know. But, I'm just curious to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, Def Rocker says Moon Boy was a troglodyte. I mean, other than the fact that her name is Moon, there's not really a whole lot of connection she has with the other quote-unquote Moon characters, the original Moon Girl or Moon Boy. And I don't know. I don't try to rack my brain trying to pine over the minutia of these type of questions.
Style so serious is we got Sam Wilson, Captain America's
Space Plantation miniseries. Look, hey, I will say this.
Come on now.
That was actually legitimately not a bad issue.
That was a good issue. Go on and call it, Paul. That was a very good issue.
It was.
Definitely redeemed the run because I was about to drop it. I ain't gonna lie.
I was about to drop it too, but it was legitimately a good issue.
Shout out to Evan Narcisse and Greg Pop.
They actually gave Sam Wilson, they made him black again.
Yep.
Marvel made Sam Wilson black again. And what I mean by that, they have these instances where it's like, man, where he has the realization that he has been put on a plantation and had brainwashed to forcibly work on a plantation. As a black man, you might feel some type of way about that, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's like, his reaction is, we need to burn this whole place down. And it's like the most black I've seen Sam Wilson in 50 years. We need to burn this whole place down. I mean, I think even Josiah X is kind of like, bro, you need to calm down. Like, he's back. Josiah X, who's literally called the Shadow Soldier, the black Muslim nationalist dude. And he's like,
now, I got a question for you, Paul. I got a question for you. He's called the Shadow Soldier, right?
Right.
What was that black stuff
That was called Dark Force Energy. He has
Okay,
the-
so
he has
when
the
I
power.
first saw it, I was like, "Is this a symbiote?"
That's a good question. He's been experimented on, just like his pops. So the question is, do they do something to him with a symbiont? Is it? But he referred to it as Dark Force. Sam said, "Is that Dark Force Energy?" He says, something like that. Where'd you get that from? I can't talk about that right now. So the story's going to come, hopefully. I hope it's not one of those dangling threads that they leave.
That'd be the worst.
We got a nice little surprise at the end of it. It's going to probably be in the next issue.
Yeah, I tell you, I wish I could bring up the picture. There is a few splash pages where you have Sam Wilson, Patriot, Falcon, and Josiah X all on the same page. Basically, the legacy of Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson, the Captain America. Oh, go ahead. Let me go ahead and make you big so you can look at that. The legacy of the Captain Americas right there, all on the same page. And thank you for giving Patriot back his hair. You don't have too many young brothers shaving their head bald. They don't make no damn sense because artists don't want to spend time drawing black hair, so they make them bald.
Right.
We know what you're doing. Don't act like you ain't fool us.
Exactly.
But this is the page I was talking about here. The last page. In the Bronx.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a bit on the nose because the big bads take these flying plantations. They take the flying plantations. Where do they put them? Over all the chocolate cities. So Detroit, Atlanta. What was the other one? Detroit, Atlanta. Was it like Pittsburgh, New York, something like that? Basically, they put them over black cities to try and have people work these plantations.
Tell you what, if AI keep doing this thing, y'all gonna need something to work at, somewhere to work.
When I say it out loud, it sounds really bad. But I will say issue 4 actually worked. It was a good issue. It was a good issue. There's some cringe elements in the story, admittedly, but issue 4 was genuinely a good issue. It had some good moments in it. And there was action, lots of action. I did not like seeing Sam Wilson riding on Falcon's back. That looked...
Pause.
Let me not say what I want to say. But, he shouldn't be...
finish that thought. I mean, if, riding...
Sam Wilson should not be riding
in the
Falcon's
sky.
back. All the years that Sam Wilson worked with Captain America and he could fly as Falcon, I never saw Captain America ride on Falcon's back. That's just...
Medieval Spawn.
Yep.
Did that come out this week?
New Spawn title. It came out last week.
All right.
Yep. Medieval Spawn. Speaking of Spawn, I think the title is Bloodletter. Joe Illich is getting ready to write a Spawn title. I think that comes out in June, I want to say.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Joe Illich is doing a little bit more writing, which is good. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him and, shout out to all the people over at Milestone. We don't know when we're going to get the next book, but hey.
It's a sore subject.
I'm just saying.
All right, so here's the books that came out this week. Let's start with just a quick honorable mention. Batman, Superman, World's Finest 2025. Why is this on the list? The secret origin of the single most unholy union in the DC history is finally revealed. Legion of Doom has set in motion a scheme to lay waste to not only the world's finest team, Batman, Superman, but to the present-day Justice League Unlimited. How is this possible? All will be revealed in a special World's Finest Annual Mark Way. Plus, Meet John Stewart, the newest ring slinger of Sector 2814, in this definitive world's finest telling of John Stewart's Lantern origin. That's why this issue is on this list. So, Rich, that's all for you, because I know you're a DC guy.
Yep.
Bitter Root, Next Movement, number 2.
Yep, got mine.
You got your copy?
Mm-hmm.
Connecting cover here is the. I love the fact that all the cover A's is Sanford Green's connecting cover. So
it's a connecting cover like they did with the first book.
Yeah. So if you just collect the cover A's, you're collecting a larger work of art by itself without it even being a specialized incentive variant. That's dope. I love that they did that. But we can pull up all the other covers here. Here's another one by James Haimaje. I can't pronounce the last name. Sorry. This is the Peach Momoko one. This one is a little harder to find. It's a 1 in 25 variant. I think it's selling for like $50 on eBay or something. But yeah. Next title. There's this new title came out called The Chamberlains. I believe, isn't this a vampire story? In development with Sony Entertainment. In the gritty underbelly of Harlem, young Terrence is left to fend for himself after his sister Kiara leaves him with their abusive father. Years later, she reappears, a formidable vampire and with a dark purpose. Kiara transforms Terrence and his loyal crew of gangbangers into creatures of the night, offering them a chance to escape their brutal existence. Together, they embark on a perilous journey to Blood World City, a hidden metropolis teeming with supernatural beings. As they delve into this dangerous new world, Terrence and his gang must adapt their newfound powers and the fight for survival against rival gangs. That sounds an awful lot like the sequel to Sinners.
I don't know though, man. I mean, you already out here banging. Now you gonna bang with werewolves?
Vampires.
Just saying.
These covers are kind of crazy. These covers.
I'm gonna let y'all tell me about it. I'll figure out whether or not I want to buy it or not. Y'all tell me.
Don't be a fan later.
You know what they say. Better late than never.
Those covers are a little wild.
The covers are wild. This one's dope. I like this. The main cover A. It's a work of art. But, I get wary when I see dope covers because sometimes the art on the inside sucks.
Yep. That'll happen.
Because the cover artist, Rob Pryor, is not the same artist that's in the book. And these are all unknown people. It's a completely independent new book. So roll the hard 6 and see what you want to do with the Chamberlains. Rich, you're a big fan of this Dr. Doom series. Yep. Doom Academy. Are you reading Doom Academy?
Yes, sir.
With Zoe Laveau, who is now the main character.
Yep.
There's a virgin variant of Shaylee Moonpetal, who is also black. A lot of people don't realize. Another black character. That's 2 black characters. But Zoe Laveau in this newest incarnation of Strange Academy is actually the main character in the series.
They need to go on and bring Doom Academy back for real, as far as books are concerned.
The Strange Academy, yeah.
Strange Academy.
But this is Strange Academy. It's just called Doom Academy, but it is Strange Academy for all intents and purposes.
Well, it is Doom Academy because he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Marvel Voices, celebrating a year of Marvel's Voices with a brand new story starring Ironheart. Best-selling writer Justina Ireland blasts Ironheart into Chicago's past for a story of Black innovation through the ages, and explore the past year of Voices anthologies with selections from Mystique and Destiny's star-studded wedding issue, Patriot's explosive return to superheroing, and the introduction of a brand new ghostwriter, and more. So that tells me that there's 2 original stories in this. One is the Ironheart story with Justina Ireland. The other one is the brand new ghostwriter. So that'll be a new story. Imagine if they had a black ghostwriter. again.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that.
We had
We
that.
need everything.
We had
need
that.
everything. We need all
We
of
had
it. We need
we had Caleb, the one from the Old West.
Yeah. And you never seen him again.
You never see him. If I'm not mistaken, this native character, this indigenous character on the left, isn't she the one from that Disney Plus cartoon, the original cartoon? And they said, "Hey, now we're going to put her in the comic book." I think that's the case. In which case, this might be her first comic book appearance, because she was an original character made for Disney Marvel Studios, and now that I think this might be her first comic book appearance.
Interesting.
So there's that. What else we got?
Before you move, Paul, Justina Ireland on the cool. You got her and you got Cheryl Lynn Eaton.
Yep.
And while I think Dr. Eve Ewing is a solid writer, I gotta say Justina Ireland and Cheryl Lynn Eaton are like top tier comic book writers.
They are. They're not getting their love.
They're not getting their love. So I'm just telling you guys, if you find Justina Ireland in a comic, just check out her stuff.
She was most recently writer on a Spider-Man title.
Yes.
Last year I was buying up her Star Wars Sana Staros comic, which was dope.
Yep.
I'm a big Star Wars guy, and that was a well done series.
Yeah, it was. But she's done some other stuff too. But y'all should give us some love, man, for real.
Yeah.
You dope, right? She was in the running for the Amazing Spider-Man book.
Right.
I know the fanboys didn't too much care for that, but yeah, she did definitely was mentioned.
It's amazing how the fanboys react to a black woman writer. You know how few black women writers have been at Marvel and DC? Like few. It's crazy. Style So Serious. Super chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Going back to what we have here. Right, Cha.
Hey, this might be the last one you get. I ain't things from another world finna go away.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. In fact, Things from Another World actually put out a post today saying, "Oh yeah, sorry, our Marvel shipment got delayed, so we're sorry. It may not show up. It'll show up when it shows up. We're sorry."
Wow.
They went from being the top comic book online store to like being some shady little janky shop in a corner.
Janky.
Out of business. Mm-hmm.
They damn near. I will not be surprised if they go out of business soon. Honestly.
Well, you know what? Which is weird to me, because to me it would be easier to keep your online presence than to, do what they're doing. They kind of like reverse. They're doing it backwards. You're leaving the online stuff to do physical stuff.
To do your brick store. That's opposite of making sense. Let's see. NYX. I never really bought this series. I wasn't really interested.
Nix.
Well, I read the one story where Sync showed up and it started out good and then it was complete stupid. So, but I have it here because there's some people that might like it. Now, Power Company Recharged. Several covers on this. This is an ongoing push by DC Comics that started in Black Lightning, done by Brandon Thomas. Moving over to the DC Power Company book that came out after that. whole bunch of creators. Ray Anthony Height, who's in the chat, he was part of that as well. This one's written by Brian Edward Hill, whose previous DC work most famously was on Batman and the Outsiders. But that was with the original Batman, Bruce Wayne, and in large part Black Lightning as well, and The Signal. Two of the characters that he previously wrote are part of this Power Company Recharged book. Now, here's the thing. This is a black key in the sense that this is the very first official black super team that DC Comics has ever had on a book not named Milestone.
That's racist, Paul.
What?
That's racist.
That's racist. We need to have a "that's racist" meme. I need to talk to
It's
Derek.
some
about
black folks getting together again. No, can't have that.
Can't have that. We can't go to cookouts, can't go fishing, can't be in a comic book together.
Styles Sierra says it was sold out of his LCS.
Well, I hope you had it on your pull list, my brother.
Was it sold out or was it underbought by the LCS? Is the question.
Probably
Because
underbought.
they thought no one would buy
Probably
it.
underbought. I mean, you know.
Look, this book was different. I don't mean that in a negative way. Most superhero team books, you expect the whole superhero team. This was actually, how can I describe this? This book was Detective Comics meets the Outsiders and with a tinge of the X-Men. That's what this book was. The biggest character in this book was actually Jace Fox, the Batman of New York. And what becomes glaringly apparent is he's trying to out-Batman Batman in terms of being a moody solo guy who says, I don't need anybody. I run the night. I'm Batman. He's trying to out-Batman Bruce Wayne. But what becomes immediately apparent to me, and I said this in our interview with Brian Edward Hill, the writer of this, what this made me realize is Jace Fox needs to not be Batman. He needs to be his own original black character. I would prefer, and DC, you sometimes watch us, I think.
Yes, they do.
I was being humble. I would prefer, and I think would work, is that you retool Jace Fox, to be the new Black Orpheus. He needs to be Orpheus. Bring back Orpheus. You guys killed him in a very not cool manner. He could be his own original black superhero. Same stuff that he's doing now. Gadgets, martial arts, profile criminal characters, gadgets and stuff. He could do all that as Orpheus, but not have the weight.
I would also add to give him a partner.
He's got a partner, Signal.
Yeah, well, okay. Signal is cool.
Oh, well.
No, for real. You know who I would like him to be teamed up with?
Yes. Well, who would you like?
Onyx.
Onyx Adams.
Onyx. Yeah.
Onyx Adams. She would make a dope partner for him. Much the same way that you had Nighthawk and what's her face? Not Madam Slay. What's her name? Tilda Johnson.
Nightshade.
Nightshade. Thank you. I was having a brain fart on that. Much the same way you had Nighthawk and Nightshade in a comic book together as a team. I agree with you, Rich.
Jeff says that Orpheus is created on. I don't think DC can bring him back.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, you know what? We need to find out who owns Orpheus.
Because one of the things that makes Orpheus a really dope character We talk about Black Keys. And first, if I'm not mistaken, and please, if I'm not saying I'm an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe Orpheus is the first Black superhero to have a self-titled book that is written, drawn, and created by Black people. That's specifically just DC Comics. I think he's the first. The artist, the two creators, the artist and the writer, are Black. Self-titled book, Orpheus Rising, and he's a Black character. I think he's the first one that DC Comics ever had.
So Orpheus persona is from a video game which is owned by Atlas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's the persona. So yeah.
Well, my original assertion stands. Jace Fox needs to not be Batman. He needs to be an original Black superhero character.
Just make him in maybe in the spirit of Orpheus.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like a Guardian-like character. Because Miles Duncan is not the Guardian. I don't know who is the Guardian at this point, if there even is a Guardian at this point right now. Jeff says Alex Simmons. Yeah. Okay.
That's the creator?
I don't know. I guess so. Let's move along, man, because I'm getting tired. I'm starting to.
Yeah, my eyes getting heavy.
Well, that was it. I think we covered everything that we were going to cover.
Well, cool beans.
Does anyone in the chat have anything else they want us to talk about, or had any comments they wish to share with us?
Now, tell them says, that talking about the space plantation, real problematic. I'm like, yeah, bro, we know. I mean, I don't know how some guys come up with these ideas for certain things, but hey, it is what it is. Comic books.
I still have some problems with the space plantation thing. That was a little.
Plantation. Okay.
I mean, can we get space reparations?
Yes.
Space reparations. We had that. It was called the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda.
Add, because of the tariffs, even though the comic books themselves have a waiver, the supply.
You can talk about that book you have right there, the Absolute Green Lantern, which was a dope.
Oh, yeah, I just got it.
That was a dope story. Artwork by Janoy Lindsay. Shout out to Janoy Lindsay, who's a brilliant artist. The Absolute DC universe is DC's ultimate universe for all intents and purposes. We all know about Batman and Wonder Woman and Flash, their ultimate characters. This is the DC Green Lantern.
DC version, yeah.
The main character is Joe Mullen, but she's different than she is in the Far Sector books, or as she's been presented in the main title.
She got braids.
But it also has Hal Jordan and John Stewart and Guy Gardner all mentioned in the very first issue. I will say that their powers are different and the characters are different. It is literally a reimagining of the Green Lantern universe. So you really have no idea what you can expect or predict is going to happen in this universe. So it's kind of dope in that respect. I enjoyed the first issue. I'm looking forward to the second. Anyone else have anything else?
No, we do not. Paul, Jay does ask a question. He says, Paul, would you recommend reading I Am Batman?
Yeah, I would. Despite who the writer is. I have said categorically he's not a bad writer. He's just not good for Black Panther. And I stand on that square.
Night Tellers DX says, currently reading trade paperback of Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. Reads like a movie. Not sure why people don't like the Coast Run.
I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, to me, that's Black Panther. Black Panther in space.
Hot coals, hot coals.
You know, I'm indifferent when it comes to it. But I have said that time will be kind to that run.
Absolutely.
Which is interesting too, because shout out to my man Otis, who hit me up yesterday, I think, and he started to read the Intergalactic Empire Wakanda in the not trade, but the actual book. Marvel took the story run and made it an actual novel.
A prose,
a
prose book.
Yeah, a prose book, which I told him and others in this space that I felt like that it will fare better as a novel. If I'd have read that probably in a novel, I'd have probably been hooked.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the thing about comics. Comics are great when you are able to like see the pictures and the story flows and all that good stuff. But sometimes you need to be able to exercise your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and so with reading prose, that's what prose is supposed to do for you.
Right. I like Mr. DC Comics' suggestion. Replace Jace Fox with Mr. Terrific and the Power Company. Black Lightning, Vixen, and Mr. Terrific are perfect. That's a great idea.
Man,
that's a great idea. I would love to see Mr. Terrific join the Power Company. That would be over.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
So, Marquise Straker, if you're watching, replace Jace Fox with Mr. Terrific. Hope springs eternal. Nobody
and here's the thing too. Some people might think that this book is a joke because Jace Fox is in it as Batman or Black Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
And so some people won't take it serious. You know what I'm saying? I do know that there are people who do not like Jace Fox as Batman, you know, and I can respect that because I'm always saying respect the source material and that kind of thing. But, you know, to your point, Paul, about recommending that run to Jay, I would just tell you that, in my humble opinion, this is just me. If you have not read go back before you even read I Am Batman. Go back and read the Future State.
Future State Batman.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Read the Future State Batman, and then read that limited series, and then you can find those probably in dollar bins.
Yeah.
And then after you read that, read the I Am Batman Second Son, which is like another limited series. Reason why I'm telling you to read these books because they literally pull you in, and the story will flow better because you're going to get backstory that you won't get in I Am Batman. I Am Batman, written by John Ridley. I don't know if you're one of these people that don't like the name, you probably won't get it because Ridley wrote it. You know,
don't be like
Johnny Law wrote it. I'm just letting you know. So if you ain't got no love for John Ridley, just stay away from it.
I still don't say his name, but I will say that it's a dope series to read. At least up until the end, because they changed some things around that I didn't like and agree with, but it was a dope series. Yeah, time to wrap it up. Thank you all for joining us. He says thank you.
He said thank you for warning, brother. I'm just saying, look, Nutella, I don't need you coming in here trolling me next week, talking about, man, you ain't tell me Ridley wrote it. That would have been hilarious. Could you imagine, Paul, a member of the Coda Bass or the Black Panther family group? We give them a recommendation to read that, and they open it up. This is pretty good. Who wrote this? Ridley. They go burn every copy.
that might require a disclaimer. Read at your own risk.
Oh man,
there was something else to talk about, but I can't remember what. It's all right. We'll save it for next time. Thank you all for joining us. If you're here and you have not liked the video, please like the video, share this video. We did not advertise for this episode tonight, so we need you guys' help to promote it because we did not let people know we're going to do it. This is a pop-up show. So go ahead and share the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, so you don't have to worry about that, because a lot of you probably subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of these people here are subscribers, and that's how you knew we were on. And we thank each and every one of you for your attendance, your participation in the chat, and for your super chats. Appreciate that. Keep Black Comic Lords alive. You guys, anything else to say?
No, that's about it. We'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you when you see you. Black Comic Lords, we got you.
Peace.